Dirty Sports episode 877 live on YouTube in 5, 4, 3. Dirty Sports episode. Oh, I forgot to mute it. There. 8-7. Hey, when I do that. Anyway, all right, let's try this again. Live in 3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Southern California, Joey No Chill Praino.
Hello, Andy.
Good afternoon, Joey.
Good afternoon. It's still morning here? Still morning for 2 minutes here. Good morning, soon to be afternoon. Good midday to you, sir.
I just sent something to your brother.
To Mikey?
Yeah.
What'd you send him?
Well, I guess your nephew is a big diehard Jamar Chase fan.
My nephew is a psychotic football fan at this point. Like my brother, I mean, you talk about brainwashing your kids, being like, I don't know if this kid likes football or not. Like, I don't know but boy, my brother likes football. My brother's got this kid into football. This kid is psycho about football. I love it.
And how old's your nephew?
He's 10, I believe.
Okay, so he's in what, 4th or 5th grade?
Yeah, he's got a fantasy team. You know, he collects football cards. Mikey's got him all drippy for his football thing. You know, he's got different gloves and cleats. Like my nephew's got more cleat glove combos than Odell Beckham Jr. Last time I went to, he goes by Deuce, right? Because he's Mikey Jr.
So I guess he's a Chase fan, and I think you were on some of those texts. Your brother heard me talking about the Jamar Chase personalized chips that they sell at Kroger. So I sent Deuce a barbecue and an original bag.
Hell yeah.
And he said he's like, he's gonna go nuts when these arrive.
That's great.
I don't know how they're gonna taste. And I'll be honest, shipping from here to New York might just be crumbs at that point.
I've got news for you, Andy. I don't think they're getting opened.
Okay.
I think Mikey still has unopened Spice Girls dolls from when he was a kid. Mikey is a
oh, I didn't know he was a collector.
Yeah, he's a collector, in fact, and he was a psycho Spice Girls fan.
Wait a second.
Mikey. Yeah.
Does he collect Jameis Winston cards?
Yeah, he's Jamar Chase 1 of 1. He's Chase 1 of 1. He's Ginger Spice 1 of 1.
So he collected Spice Girls stuff.
I believe he even had 2. I believe he got the full set of Spice Girls dolls, and I believe he got 2 full sets, one he could play with and one he could keep in the packages.
Just throwing him right in front of the bus right now.
Oh, he does not care. He is an unabashed Spice Girls fan.
Because we're the same age, him and I. I'm trying to think. The Spice Girls blew up like when I was an 8th grader, freshman in high school.
Exactly.
So he's like 14, 15, and he had Spice Girl dolls.
Yeah. And T-shirts. And he watched Spice World on repeat and posters. He went to the concert. I believe he drove himself because he was old enough at that time for like their second tour. I believe he drove himself to Philadelphia to go see them.
As the kids would say, sus.
Yeah.
Now, was he just attracted to him? Did he want to bang him? Like, what was his deal?
I think that's definitely part of it. My sister was really into the boy bands.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think Mikey was just like, "Oh, we're doing this. How about these British sluts?"
I mean, I was into who's Beckham's wife? Victoria Beckham's Posh.
Yeah, Posh.
Like I definitely was into her. I remember having conversations myself with friends, right? You'd say, okay, from the top to bottom about who you want to bang.
Sure.
I remember those conversations. I did not get in a car on my own to drive to see them.
Mikey did. So you know what you should have sent him is probably 2 bags of each, and he would have eaten one and saved one. But I have a feeling since it's one barbecue and one regular, I think they're both getting saved. I think they're both going on the collector's wall.
So to me, this was all about your nephew, all about his son. You're making it sound like, well, I think he's just using him as a collector's item.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mikey, Deuce, as a Mikey Jr. is very Mikey-like. He's already collecting things. He's got a collection of like, he goes with the Mikey gets him like a legit helmet from a different school or team every year. He's got like multiple full legit football helmets from like, I don't know, 6 or 8 college football teams at this point.
Oh, wow. So he's really in.
Yeah. And the kid loves it. I mean, listen, when I was there a couple years ago, he was only like 7 or something like that. Yeah, I think he was 7. I think it was 3 years ago. And he was like, "Hey, Uncle Joey, do you know who won that Wisconsin Florida game?" And I looked it up on my phone, I think it was like at the time, Wisconsin was like 11 and Florida was like 24 or something like that. I was like, Florida won. He's like, "Oh, major upset." And I was like, "Bro, you're 7. How do you have a handle on the entire top 25 in college football?"
Do you know who was like that as a kid? Me.
You?
Oh, dude, I was such a stat
At
dork.
7?
Yes. Dude, I remember my dad, like my dad's way of showing off for me would be in front of his friends and he'd say, "Hey, Andy, what's Barry Larkin's batting average? Go through his stats." Like, and I could just, obviously I didn't have a phone or anything. Like I could just reel off, "Oh, he's batting. Andy, how many home runs did Eric Davis hit last year? How many stolen bases?" That's how I was. I slept and drank sports at a young age, which like, I didn't have that push though. My dad wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's just following his old man.
Yeah.
But
my dad wasn't like that either. And it's funny because I was super into sports, just totally on my own. And then I got Mikey into sports. And now it's just Mikey got his kid into sports.
Is football number one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think he really likes playing lacrosse, but I think, it's not like he's watching the PSL or whatever it is.
Yeah. And then I made the mistake. I told my girlfriend, I told her, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to pop in the post office, send these." I told her about your brother and send them to your nephew. And then I showed her the video of Christmas last year, what Mikey did, which was a mistake. Because she's like diehard Christmas. She's like, "You're doing that." And I was like, "No, I'm not." She's like, "You're climbing on the roof." I said, this isn't Christmas vacation.
You're setting up pyrotechnics and you're linking it to a local radio station.
And then I said, when I wasn't doing it, she's like, "Well, we're paying to fly Praino's brother in to do it to our house." I'm like, "What?" I'm like,
"Oh, Mikey will show up for sure." And he'll be like, "Give me your card. I'm going to Sam's Club to get you some Christmas lights."
You've lost your mind. Like, dude, I don't know. Is it just, well, you're obviously not around, but Halloween is now Christmas.
Yeah.
So like in my neighborhood, the amount of lights and inflatable, whatever, pumpkins or scary things, the whole neighborhood now is basically Christmas.
Well, yesterday or Tuesday, I should say. And I'm not big on Halloween, not on Halloween, but I went to a Halloween/Christmas party.
What?
For the McDuff's Pub. It was like they did, we did the comedy show. By the way, thanks to everybody who came out. It's a great charity event. All the comedians, Gubbins, Sestaro, Lazarus, killed. Also, apologies for being completely dead the next day. I mean, that hangover was something else. I had to manage all these comedians, couldn't eat, but boy, I was dying the next day. So it feels good to be back. It feels good to be a couple days healthy. But Tuesday, the next day after that, the pub closed for the week for cleaning after the big event and whatever. And they're on like shoulder season now. So they're going to get ready to get into winter ski season, whatever. So they closed. And because this is the only time they can close, until again, after ski season, they did a Halloween/Christmas/cleaning week party. You would have loved this, Andy. We got on a party bus and we went to Virginia City, Nevada, which I don't know if you know about Virginia City, Nevada. It was at one point one of the richest cities in the whole world because of the gold and silver mines there. There was one point in the late 1800s where there was 25,000 residents of Virginia City, Nevada, and 8,000 residents of Los Angeles, California.
That's a cool stat there.
And now there's 900 residents of the town and 12 million in Los Angeles. And there was at one point, I think he said 200 bars in town or something like that. But anyway, we went on a ghost tour. We went on a mining tour. I dressed up as Omni-Man for dirtballs who have seen Invincible on Amazon. And me, not big on costumes outside of Halloween, but it was a special occasion. So Halloween's already happening certain places, certainly in Virginia City, where we went on a ghost tour. Oh, and you would also love this, Andy. The guy who gave our ghost tour, boring as shit. Then we go on this mining tour. We show up to this bar, and you go through the bar into an old mine. And there's a guy outside the bar who was not part of our group. And I was like, look at this guy. He's dressed as fucking heroin addict Bob Dylan. And he just like was wearing like fucking a leather jacket, had like fucking puffy, curly punk rock hair. And then we walk in and we're like, all right, where's the guy who's going to lead our mine tour? And in comes fucking punk rock Bob Dylan. He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm going to be your mining tour guide. He's like, I'm not from here originally. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, but I'd rather die in this mine than go back to Cincinnati. So here I am.
He did not say that.
I swear to God.
He did not say that.
He moved to a town of 900 people to give mining tours. He literally was like, from not a native, but from Ohio, rather die than go back there.
Just throwing our state under the bus. Ruther. So you went in an actual mine?
Yeah, it was wild.
That's got to be cool.
It was cool. Really, I had to duck pretty much the whole time.
What are you on when you're going through the mine?
What do you want? You're just walking.
You're walking.
Yeah.
Why did I picture something like Indiana Jones in
the little like cart?
Yeah, you're like on a roller coaster cart.
Yeah. It was like there's apparently like, I mean, so the whole city is like has tunnels underneath it. Like I think they said 2,200 miles of tunnels, something like that. Crisscrossing the whole fucking town. But we were in a mine that was like, I think only, what do you say, 50 feet underground, something like that.
Did you have any worry of like, I'm going to die, this is going to collapse?
No, it seemed pretty solid. There was like wood holding up the mine. But it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I didn't think the mine tour, I thought the ghost tour was going to be more interesting than the mine tour. But the tour leader was so boring, and I'm not really big on the fucking ghost thing. I wasn't like scared or whatever. It was cool to be in a room where they had like 70 something bodies piled up at one point, some old like crypt room. But the Cincinnati guy was just like the best tour guide ever, the mine tour. So it was great.
So 70 bodies were in a room at one point.
Yeah. What they called the crypt. I guess there was like people dying in mines all the time, and then like gaseous fucking poison gas coming up from mines. Babies were dying. Yeah.
Dude, that's a wild like to think that still exists. Like that's a wild, insane profession.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're not still doing it.
But
it still exists places.
That's what I'm saying. Like the people who go to work in mines every single day. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to make it out of here.
They were saying that they got paid 80 cents a day to work in the mines, but not in Virginia City. In Virginia City, they got paid $4 a day. So it was like everybody wanted to go there. And there wasn't clean water. So they were drinking 2 pints of whiskey a day. They were just drunk mining.
That sounds like it could just go off. Like I couldn't think of anything you should not be doing drunk. Anything more.
And they were like doing it by candlelight, and then the candles would go out. Like if rats started scurrying all in the same direction, they had to like crawl out, get away from get away. Like basically they were like, follow the rats. If the rats start running, we start running.
Doesn't it
in the dark?
Doesn't it put in perspective how easy we have it?
Yeah.
Like my internet goes out.
They're like, and what do you do for a living? I shit on Russell Wilson.
I mean, seriously, the perspective.
I worked for $4 a day in a mine, and at any moment the thing could collapse, or I could just poison myself with fucking toxic gas. Miller Lite pays me to shit on Russell Wilson.
Although, to be fair, what would you rather eat? Dead rats from a mine or the Subway sandwich that Russell Wilson's chilling sandwich.
Out? Yeah.
You know, I told you before the show, at this point, I'm just like, yo, man, like, you're people who've defended you forever, me, and even as of like last
basically
week,
you.
Like at this point,
he's Mr. Unlimited has forsaken you.
Well, I don't understand. All jokes aside, again, it's funny, it's great comedic fodder, but all of that aside, is he and his entire team, are they all on crack? Like, because the lack of like wherewithal of the situation of understanding the temperature of the room, dude, people hate you. Like, not only are you playing awful, you had a great first quarter there today, and then the rest of the game you were awful. Not only are you playing awful, like who in your camp, because it's clear you need someone in your camp to tell you what to do because you're a robot. Who in your camp is thinking this is a good idea to put out these subway ads? Just go away, man.
First of all, he needs somebody in his camp that can tell him to throw to the wide open receivers, because what is going on with him now? Did he get blind in one eye over this? Did he like get some Danger Russ sandwich sauce in one eye? Why can't he see wide open receivers? We have 3-4 games in a row where he's missed guys just wide open, just straight up doesn't see them. And then the other question is there a chance that there's a combo of things happening here where Russell doesn't know like cringe, cool from cringe, but then also somebody in his camp is like making him like, knowing that he doesn't know the difference is kind of forcing him to lean into this cringe? Like, there's no way somebody thinks these things. There's no way you can have a team of people and no one on the team is like, oh, have you heard the internet fucking thinks you're the world's biggest dork? You should do another dorky commercial. Like, maybe don't do that, right? I almost think that somebody on his team is like, this is our brand now.
I can see that.
But Russell's not cool enough to know. Russell doesn't know that they've turned him into the cringe king.
But like from a football perspective, again, you have to understand the temperature of the room. Dude, if you're stinking up the joint, if you're on a team that has a defense that is just every game they're holding people under 20 points and you can't win. Like, Denver should have won that game the other day. Like, the Chargers, and for the record, Brandon Staley sucks. I'm just gonna say he sucks. I'm going that far. You're gonna waste Justin Herbert's rookie deal. You're fucking buffoon.
You know, all I can think of right now, or all I could think of when I was watching that game was, imagine if Herbert had Dable.
Seriously,
that's all I could think. I was like, Daniel Jones is 5-1 right now.
I understand the kicker was hurt. He still was making his field goals in that range. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take the 3 points, this doesn't even go into overtime.
Yeah.
He sucks. He's an idiot.
Now let's go back to Russell for 1 second. I'm gonna have to put you on the spot here. The Broncos make the playoffs?
No, not right now. Fuck that.
I mean, not right now. What kind of stance is that? Do the Broncos make the playoffs, Andy?
Right now I'm saying no.
I love you right now. What are you leaving fucking room? That's the answer I want right now. Right now.
They can't score. Again, their defense is fine.
Yeah.
They can't score. They can't.
Do the Broncos make the playoffs?
Right now, I'll say no.
Leaving the door open to change your mind.
Well, you never know what can happen with like injuries or whatever, but I'll say pretty solidly no. That play that Troy Aikman was talking about where he had I believe it was the tight end wide open on the quick check down for the first down. And he's just like, what is he, like you said, is he blind? What is he looking for?
Mr. Limited vision. Also, Mr. Unlimited has been limited in practice this week.
So I'll play the subway. The subway thing just came out today. I think it's more of a visual, but I still think the audio still does it some pretty good justice. This was he has what's the sandwich called?
The Dangerous sandwich. It's dangerous.
Here are all the dangerous ways. Dangerwich.
Dangerwich.
I call this one
So
I
cringe.
call this one the blindfold.
The blindfold. That's you on the field right now, bro. Take off the blindfold and open your damn eyes.
Big bite. The drop it low.
People are getting blown out of their cars right now.
Building the upside down.
Okay, that's enough.
Now everybody hates Russell Wilson because he just blew out speakers. Fork and knife. Boom. This one's called chewing my teeth. Eating my hands.
There is something that's good that's come from this Dangerwich.
This one's called the check down, where I reach for the sandwich, but I don't grab it because I can't see it.
So on today's so this came out today, and there's some back and forth going on for some dirt balls for our 2022 season bet. So Chris Vasiento tweeted out, he's like, I can't wait for Ruther and Praino to talk about this, blah, blah, blah. And then CT hopped in. Loser of the NFL bet this year should have to go eat the Danger Russ sandwich every day for a week straight. And Chris followed it up with breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. Eating that shit sandwich every day, even with us who hate Subway, doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Every day, one sandwich doesn't seem a lot to me. So I was leaning toward the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But 21 straight meals is just like, that's so aggressive.
21 straight meals of that same sandwich?
Right. I'm going to put this out there. What if we have to eat it for as many days in a row as the point differential is? Because we're usually pretty close. Like, let's say you beat me by 4. You just got to go breakfast, lunch, and dinner 4 days in a row. But then also, I think we got to cap that at like a number. And then it's like, then it becomes this many meals in a row or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, realistically, and I don't think I'm exaggerating, even if you just ate that, let's just say hypothetically, breakfast, lunch, and dinner one day, it will fuck up your insides.
That's what I'm saying.
Like one day of just that sandwich will not be good for your body.
And then do they have to be footlongs? Are we doing, can we do 2 footlongs per day? You can break it up how you want. You go like a footlong in the morning. You got to eat at least 6 inches of it for every meal. And then you can mix in some other stuff. I think that here's what I'll say. I think this is the bet. I think the bet involves us eating Danger Witches for some combo of meals or days in a row. And maybe it corresponds to how many points it is. But I haven't figured out the perfect way to work it yet.
Okay, so this is the Danger Witch.
Here's for sure. Here's something I know. We can't eat it 21 meals in a row. I feel like that'll kill you. I feel like you'd get like poisoned by the nitrates.
I agree. So I don't know if you have to get all this, because the truth is I would not eat all this because I just wouldn't. I'm looking at an old article because I guess these debuted. Subway introduces sandwiches created by NFL stars. This was right before the Super Bowl. And it's him, Marshawn Lynch, and Trevor Lawrence. And we'll get to what Marshawn Lynch had to say about him here in a second. So from this article, and I can maybe see an updated one, the Danger Witch is pepperoni, salami, black forest ham, provolone cheese, and bacon on Italian herbs and cheese, topped with lettuce, tomatoes, green peppers, banana peppers, and finished with yellow mustard and mayonnaise. Dude, that sounds disgusting.
It kind of sounds like an Italian combo. Which honestly, as my people, were offended by being fucking even loosely tied to Russell Wilson. Because if there's one thing Italian, especially Italian Americans are, we're not cringe.
No. I mean,
here we go. Fucking Randy Ruther chiming in.
What's he saying?
You just have to eat the sandwiches 2 days in a row at the same Subway in the dining room. Just get weird looks from the staff.
Oh my God.
7 consecutive days of breakfast, lunch, and dinner is too much.
Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm just not doing that.
But it could be something like, I don't know, 15 over the course of fucking 2 weeks or something. I don't know.
Well, look, we can try to
put it in the Reddit, but this is the bet. It has something to do with. We just need the details of it sorted.
Yeah, and again, like
how
you said,
many in a row?
We have to be uncomfortable.
Meals, yeah.
But I'm not dying. I'm not dying over Dangerwich. I'm just not.
But like, to me, if you had to eat the Dangerwich once a day for a week, it's not that bad.
I agree.
But now if you're like, you have to eat 15 in a week, you have to eat 15 footlongs in a week, you'd be like, wow, that's a lot. That's two a day with like at some point 3 a day. Do you just go like 3, 3, and 3 and then taper off? Like, I don't know how, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's almost a strategy to it.
Yeah. Or is it tied to how many points somebody wins or loses by?
I just know if I lose my girlfriend, that's definitely a week I have to sleep in another room.
I mean, like I said on Twitter,
nobody wants to be next to that.
I'm hesitant to do it because I'm already down. You know what I mean? But I'm here for it.
Well, Randy's saying he'll provide a sweatshop jersey. I already have a Russell Wilson jersey, so
yeah, and I would, and I don't want one.
What do you think tastes better? If I put some condiments on the Russell Wilson jersey, or just eat the Dangerwich? Like, I would argue they might taste similarly the same.
How big of a piece of the Russell Wilson jersey would you eat covered in mustard, cut into small pieces and cut into mustard, to not have to eat it for a week?
Ooh.
And so like the smut couch, like I'd eat a 6-inch by 6-inch piece of fabric.
What would that do to your system, man?
Probably the same thing as eating fucking Subway for a week straight.
True. So,
but I think this is it. Let's sort out the details, but the bet has been laid down. It's some sort of Dangerwich gauntlet over the course of days or week. The dirt balls always get good and creative with this stuff.
Yeah.
Put it in the Reddit, put it on Twitter.
So
we're still looking for that Jersey Mike sponsorship, by the way. So Jersey Mike's at any point wants to swoop in and save us from this.
Yeah. I mean, you got Danny DeVito now pushing your ads. Come on. Come on, Jersey Mike's. Holla at your boy. Speaking of, real quick, can I toot my own horn?
Can I toot it?
Can I toot it? Guess who was mentioned today briefly in an article, the Cincinnati Business Courier, about his work with Gold Star.
Wow, the Cincinnati Business Courier, the CBC, as it's often referred.
It's one of those paid subscription-based things, and I don't subscribe to. Did I even say the right? Is it even the Cincinnati Business Courier? Yes, it is. So they did an article titled "Why Gold Star Invests 25% of its marketing budget on the Cincinnati Bengals." And to be honest, I actually kind of think it's interesting from just a sports guy and like these teams and like, okay, if as a company they're investing 25% of their budget into marketing budget into the Bengals, what's their return on investment?
Right.
And then if you scroll down, and I'm reading it, and here's the irony. My brother sent it to me. He didn't read it. My brother Brad. And he, in the headline, he put no mention of you. This is bullshit. And I read the article and I'm like, I actually am mentioned by name, dude. Like you didn't read, he didn't even attempt to read the article. And it says, a big part of where Gold Star spends its own money on Bengals related marketing above and beyond what it pays the team itself as a sponsor is engaging the community of Bengals fans outside the stadium. For instance, during all Bengals games, Andy Ruther of the Dirty Sports podcast.
Hell yeah.
Takes over Gold Star's Twitter account to engage with fans on the heels of last season, Super Bowl run, September 2022 has been the best month the account has ever had.
Wow.
So
that's why they call him the king of all social media, folks.
So I just wanted to plug it because we got Dirty Sports and myself with some love in, as we all know, the most esteemed newspaper in the country.
The CBC.
Yes, the CBC. So I can't wait to pick up new dirtballs who are business savvy, right, Joe? And
That's
also
right.
restricted to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And who read the Cincinnati Business Courier. So I expect us to be number one on the
a couple of
Apple
interesting
charts.
articles in the CBC this week. Did you know the Reds actually boosted their ticket sales this year after a guy tried to shit in a Toyota Tundra? And a man named Denthead has taken over Gold Star Chili's account for Bengals games. This is fascinating stuff, hon. I'm going to share a link with you. Send it to my Kindle, honey.
All right, just wanted to get that quick plug in there, but I want to go back.
Can I get a quick plug in while we do the plugs?
Yeah, do it. You know,
Let's
you
do
do
the
that
plugs.
because the sun's coming in. I'm going to close the blinds here.
Great.
So you do that.
Before we get into football talk, guys, you might see that I'm wearing my New York Giants hat. I've just booked a weekend of shows to go see my Giants play and do shows. I will be in, drum roll, please, Dallas, Texas for Thanksgiving weekend. Gonna go see Giants at Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, House of Comedy in Plano, Texas. So if you are a Dallas, Fort Worth, Plano area dirtball, or if you're just within driving distance of that, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, go to houseofcomedy.com, go to the Plano location, get your tickets, come to a show. If you're a Dallas Cowboys dirtball, slide into the DMs on Instagram at Joe Praino or on Twitter at Fix Your Life. Maybe we can coordinate going to see the game together. I'm obviously going to try to get tickets, but Beer Gate is still going on. So I don't know if the family is going to provide me with tickets. If you're a dirtball and you're going to go to that game, hit me up. But Giants at Cowboys, Thanksgiving Day, my first ever Thanksgiving Day game.
Wow.
And then the weekend at House of Comedy in Plano.
What a little 1-2 combo you got going for yourself.
Yeah, a return to the Jerry Dome where you and I saw a game. I mean, what's that? That's got to be 7 years ago now.
There's more. I can tell you that was October. We saw a game at the Jerry Dome 2014, October 2014.
8 years ago.
Remember how annoying that? And I still have videos. I was watching them actually recently. I was going through some things. Remember the annoying Cowboys fan by us?
Oh, yeah.
She was psychotic. I forget, where did we stay?
We stayed. I don't remember where.
That hotel we stayed at was nowhere near because the stadium's in what, Irving?
Yeah. Arlington?
Or Arlington.
I think, yeah, the old stadium was in Irving. Now the new stadium's in Arlington, right? It's right next to the ballpark.
Yeah, you're right.
And then we went back to Arlington. You know, we went to the baseball game there when we were down there for the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
Well, here's a fun Dirty Sports fact for the Dirty Sports Jeopardy or the Dirty Sports Trivia. That weekend was the first time we ever did a Dirty Sports episode, not in LA, where we
did it in Dallas.
In the hotel room.
I remember
our first ever satellite show.
Yeah.
And let's see if my memory serves me correctly. The title of that episode, this is where I can go full Rain Man on you, was either crazy. The Cowboys are 8-8 forever, or I don't know if it was that one, or it was something about DeMarco Murray.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was that. Something along those lines.
I like it.
That'll be a fun return.
Yeah, it'll be a fun return. And if you guys are in the Dallas area, or if you're going to be in the Dallas area for Thanksgiving weekend, maybe your family's from there or something like that, get your tickets now. Please come to a show. I'll be headlining the whole weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe we watch football somewhere Sunday before my shows if the Dirtballs want to meet up. football all day because the show won't be till the evening, and the Giants will have already played on Thursday. And again, so if you're wildly going to the Thanksgiving Day game or thinking about going to the Thanksgiving Day game, slide into my DMs. It's tailgate. Maybe I'll even wear jean shorts and Air Jordans to go along with all the Cowboys fans.
Your mustache will fit in.
A mustache, yo fool.
One more thing about the Russell Wilson discussion. I want to go back to Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch, which to me, this reveals it all. Like, we know he hasn't gotten along with his teammates. We know all those things. He's a prima donna. But this clip from Richard Sherman's podcast, which is titled The Richard Sherman Podcast, this is only 17 seconds. Didn't get much love, Joe. This came out 6 days ago. Didn't really see it much, right? To me, more people should be talking about this. But the 17-second clip really kind of highlights the situation with Russell and his former teammates, or probably his current teammates. Let me turn it up here.
Right now, because he on a struggle bus.
Man, I want to reach out to dog, bro, because
They'll reach out to it.
You know it
his
ain't
manager.
that. You know it ain't. Man, come
his
on,
manager.
nigga. If I can't call you direct, nigga, then I ain't calling you. Especially, nigga, if I done went to war with you.
So, for people who obviously can't see it, Richard Sherman is laughing when he says his manager twice. So think about that. Marshawn Lynch is saying, I want to call you. We were in the trenches together. I want to call you and be like, I know you're playing like shit. Trying to actually be a friend, give you some positive feedback. And he doesn't have Marshawn Lynch does not have your number. What is that? That says everything you need to know about Russell Wilson.
And then did you see this thing? He came out the other day. Like, he's just Captain fucking cringe right now. He said he has Wolverine blood.
What? I didn't see that.
Oh yeah. He's his hamstring or his shoulders, lat, whatever's hurt, whatever he has an issue with right now. He feels like he's gonna be good to go this week. He has Wolverine blood. He'll be back before you know it. I'm just like, bro, this is reaching Jameis 1-of-1 levels of mental illness.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, he's got some issues. But we've always, like, I've harped so hard after reading Jeff Pearlman's book, 3-Ring Circus, about Kobe. He's not on Kobe's level as far as psychotic, just a dick. He's on Kobe's level because none of them had none of them had the cell phone of their teammates. But he's on that level as far as, like, no one likes you, but for a different regard. You're the cheesy, corny guy.
But at least here's the thing, and I don't like to fucking like hype Kobe, but Kobe was good enough where people would never come out and trash him while he was still playing.
I agree.
Every week, the Russell Wilson struggles is like a Twitter. Which former teammate's gonna put out a GIF mocking him?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It's like, dude, you don't have these relationships with, again, like Marshawn Lynch put it, guys, you're in the trenches. I can't think of a more team bonding sport, I would argue, as far as the camaraderie you get with football. I just think it's different, and I'm not saying you can't get that in baseball or basketball. I just think it's different because of the nature of the game.
I'm going to say something I said before about this topic, though, because we have so many things to cover today. I hear people when they say, you guys talk about Russell, like, we're giving an awful lot of fucking airtime to, like, the 28th best quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, he's playing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but maybe that's what they want, Joe. And we'll move on. Maybe that's his team's idea. Hey, he sucks. Let's get everybody to keep tweeting and talking about these videos, and let's make it a thing. Let's financially gain from this, because they are. Like, the impressions, the views, the retweets, the likes, all that stuff.
How quickly do you become a punchline where you're just like a punch? Like, what,
Well, I think that isn't.
I guess they're invested in him. I guess the Broncos are invested in him this much, so I guess it doesn't really fucking matter.
But isn't that like the fine line for any entertainer, right? Like, at what point do you cross over from you're this person to you're just a straight punchline?
Yeah, but I guess the financial question is like, are you selling jerseys if you suck and everybody thinks you're a fucking dork?
Yeah. No, I agree.
You selling tickets? People coming to see a 2-4 team where the quarterback sucks and everybody's making fun of him on the internet all day.
Well, that'll be a good segue to discuss someone else who's getting paid. Charles Barkley just signed a 10-year deal that is reportedly maybe near $200 million.
That's not crazy. I mean, it's crazy, but it's not that. I mean, $20 million a year, essentially.
Yeah.
And is that just for inside the NBA, or then they also get them for the fucking TNT March Madness stuff? You know, him and fucking, Samuel Jackson are going to ride around in the Batmobile for Capital One commercials. Like, what does this all entail? Because it seems like this is an all-encompassing deal that Charles signs from time
it wouldn't
to time.
It wouldn't include the Capital One. That's a different endorsement. But I agree. I don't think like 20 million isn't.
Charles is the guy. He's the motor. He makes the whole, like, Kenny Smith is great and Shaq's great.
That's right. He's the glue.
But he's the glue.
He's 100% the glue. The whole team is great. Ernie, runs a great show as the pilot, so to speak. But yeah, you take Charles out of that, man. What is that?
Yeah. I'll tell you what it is. It's still great. I can carry this team. I'll carry Kenny on my back. I'll carry Kenny on Ernie's back. I'm Superman.
Well, in unrelated but related NBA news as well, did you see Bill Walton sitting in the second row and he kept standing during the Padres Phillies game 1?
Imagine being the guy in the third row.
Oh my God.
I saw you put on Dirty Sports. Imagine being the pitcher. Imagine being the guy sitting in the third row. You show up to the game, and there's a 7-foot dude in front of you who doesn't want to sit down. He's like,
Yeah, those are prime seats. I mean, those are not cheap. The first NLCS game in 24 years in San Diego, God only knows what those third row seats were going for. And you got Bill Walton. I found myself that game, and it was, right. It was
rode my bike to the stadium, threw down my credit card. I said, give me front row. They said, no, that's going to Marlins, man. I said, give me second row. They said, you got it. I said, you know what? These things are built like stadium seating. The guy behind me will be fine. He can get on his shoulders of his wife, and his wife can put their son on their shoulders, and eventually they'll be like a cartoon character wearing one trench coat trying to sneak into a movie. And they'll be next to me, the great Bill Walton. Oh, it's a beautiful day here in San Diego. The sun is shining. The Padres are winning. I've microdosed on acid. And by microdosed, I mean a macrodose for any normal sized human being, but a microdose for me. It's the big red. I'll tell you what, it's so great to have the Padres back in the classic brown and yellow uniforms. Just like the time I went to Woodstock and I ate the brown and yellow acids, and then Jimi Hendrix came and played his guitar, and I was transported to another place in time. I was on planet Xenon watching a man play the guitar. It was glorious. And now here I am in San Diego drinking a Southern California IPA, driving my bike to the game, riding it down the street.
He was talking a lot. Dude, I found myself just focused on Bill. I was like, he's talking a lot this game to who he's with. Just, you could see the happiness on his face. Just illuminating.
Yeah. And it was like, who do you think wins in a fight? A guy in a Padres outfit or the Philly fanatic? One's a mystical creature with a green snout, and the other one is a Spanish missionary that settled in the great land of California, the most beautiful state in all the world. A priest versus an alien. Who's going to take this one? Is there a higher being out there? I swear I've seen one as I was doing acid in the woods through my third eye, but it's got enough to get you over the hump.
Isn't it just a horse, Bill? I don't think it's an alien. It's a filly.
Not a horse. No, that's crazy. The Philly Fanatic is not a horse. What kind of? I mean, I've taken a lot of drugs in my day, Andy Ruther. What are you on?
Oh man, too funny. That's gonna be a fun series, man.
Yeah, it's great.
When they went down 4-0 yesterday, I said, "Uh-oh," and they just got right back in that game. It's got to be fun for a player. You got that Southern California October playoff baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's you normally think it's so cold and it's just like, no, man.
And you're waiting in the batter's box. You're ready to go up in a big, October NLCS at bat. And then Bill Walton hollers at you. If you get a hit here, you can come over tomorrow and sit in the teepee and have a great breakfast burrito that my wife's going to make. It's going to be awesome. Luke will be there. Richard Jefferson will be there. The ghost of John Wooden comes in and out of the teepee during breakfast. It's going to be great.
Who do you think wins that series?
He's like, if you don't like breakfast burritos, you can eat cereal out of a bowl like a dog, like I did when my back was injured. Decaf coffee only. We're riding high on life right now and the beautiful vibes that run through Southern California.
1-1. Who you got?
I got San Diego. I just think, Wheeler came out in game one, shoved, but I think all in all, pitching, I lean San Diego. Bats, I lean San Diego. Philly's been great, but I'm going with the Padres just because I don't think I think you'll get your 2 Wheeler starts and then it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
What about the American League?
I've got the Astros. I haven't really, the Astros have just been so good. Verlander goes out and shoves yesterday. They hit so much. They hit it home. They've got some, Yordan Alvarez, hitting those balls. Just wait until he gets to the right field at Yankee Stadium. He's going to hit one to fucking Westchester.
I feel like everyone, what year did they cheat? Or was it multiple years?
2017.
Well, 2017, they won the World Series.
Right.
So we'll go with that year. But I just feel like it's almost because of COVID. I don't know.
We said that. Remember that happened? COVID was the year. COVID was going to be the year that the fans were just going to destroy them. And it happened in March. We were all geared up. We're all geared up to ruin their season. March 15th, boom. COVID year, done.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like people still are rooting more against the Yankees.
Yeah, because fuck the Yankees.
Which I understand that as well, the Yankee hate, but it's just like, guys, they did the worst of the worst. They all cheated and got away with it.
Yeah, don't forget the Yankees were involved in the whole thing, and they had Beltran come over there, or he's from over there. They were using the Apple Watches, blah, blah, blah. Like the Yankees have been accused of basically the same exact thing, just without the garbage can. Also, they're the Yankees. Fuck them. Give me a Padres World Series at this point. Padres over Astros. Give me Astros over Phillies. Give me Padres over Yankees. Honestly, I don't even know who I want to win last, the Yankees or the Phillies. That's really a total toss-up. But give me either of the Padres or the Astros over both of those fucking teams.
I feel, is it just me or is
I'd
it
probably go Phillies over Yankees, honestly. Because I have to deal with so many more Yankees fans. But Philly, goddamn, them celebrating will just be garbage all over again.
Well, it'll just be people eating horse feces.
Yeah.
That's what the guy did when the Eagles won, right?
And with the Eagles playing this well, we can't have fucking the Phillies. Oh, man, it's tough. Please, for fuck's sake, let the Padres or Astros win the World Series.
I know, man, but the Astros again, it's like, they just blatantly cheated.
Everybody's basically gone except Bregman and Altuve. Springer's gone. Correa's gone.
Yeah, I know. It's just that they just blatantly got away with it, you know?
Yeah.
Like that. Like again, I feel like nobody talks about it, but that's such a.
I mean, the Phillies fans have been getting away with spitting on children for fucking 75 years. So if you were standing in a room, right? If you were standing in a room with two people and one guy was like, you were like, tell me the worst thing about yourself. And this guy's like, I fucking cheat at my job. I lie. I fucking cheat. I steal. I'll do anything to fucking win at work. I've broken rules. I've broken laws. And you're like, how about you? He's like, I spit on kids. Kids come, I fill my face with mustard and fucking soda and I spit it in their faces. Children, 6, 7, I'll spit on them. You'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You're like, all right, cheating guy, let's go.
Yeah, my buddy made a comment that he travels a lot for work and he's from Cincinnati and he made a comment about Philly. Something along those lines. Like, dude, that's a city that just needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. Because sometimes I feel like, okay, you have a bias and you will have a bias. You're East Coast, you're New York, they're a rival in all your sports and they're a city rival. But then when I hear from somebody who's not from there, I'm like, man, is it really that bad?
Yeah.
If enough people say that, it's got to be that bad. That was our original capital, man. Right? Wasn't Philadelphia the original capital of this country?
Yeah, and they're like, get the fuck out of here. This place is a fucking cesspool. Can't have people visiting the capital here.
Well, at least the Sixers, they lost their first game, right?
They did to the Celtics. By the way, NBA has begun.
I mean, that's what I was just about to get to. Like,
I'm not ready for it, Andy. I say this every year now. And listen,
I don't think anyone's ready for it.
I say it every year now. First of all, I'm not even over the Mets season yet. I'm not over it. I got a 5-1 Giants team I got to deal with. You know, I'm planning like travel around my 5-1 Giants team. Come to the House of Comedy in Plano. I'm not ready for it. And we always say on this show, the Christmas Day games are the unofficial start of basketball season at this point. But I'll say this: shorten the fucking season.
Yeah, that's my argument. I agree. I was thinking
shorten the season because it ends at the right time. Christmas is a good time. Like, I think that they should play 10 games pre-Christmas. I think you should. I think basically the season should start. I think Thanksgiving, and this isn't a racial thing, but I feel like Black Friday should kick off the NBA season. Black Friday should be NBA opening day. Kind of works.
It does work.
It does work. Works on multiple levels.
Yeah.
NBA, the NFL does huge on Thanksgiving, right? There's no football. You got college football on Saturday. You got Sunday.
There's
NFL
some college football
again.
on Friday, but whatever.
Yeah. But we go Black Friday should be NBA opening day. It's the title of the episode.
Okay. Well, don't know about that one, but I agree that they got to shorten the season. And I was actually thinking the same thing this week because it's just, think about it. You're starting the week. There's so much going on. You're starting the same week. You're in the middle of baseball playoffs. You're in the middle of the NFL season. I just think, I know they don't care and they'll never shorten the season because it's all about money. It's all these leagues care about, and more games equals more money, equals more revenue, equals more TV, blah, 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 blah. I get it. But it's not good for the product on the court, I don't think.
It's and it's just tough on fit. Like, I can't care. I didn't watch. I mean, I was traveling, but I also just didn't get to watch the Knicks game yesterday. It's like, I'm not ready for it.
Yeah. And same. I saw Paulo Banchero had a LeBron-esque type late debut. He was the first one since LeBron to go 25, 5, and 5. Like, I see the headline. No, I'm not watching it. Get out of here. I'm not watching it.
The Knicks play 18 games before Black Friday. So I'm just going to my team.
But you know what? It's just basketball in general. like college basketball.
65 game NBA season.
Yeah. Starts like the first week of November now. It's the same thing. It's like it never did. It used to start right around within like a week of Thanksgiving. Like they're just, everything is just, did you see that
65
tweet?
games, start Black Friday. I mean, honestly, I feel like this could be something where the NBA could be convinced to do this.
So 18 games before Black Friday. So 65 would be the number.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be 64, but it's called 17, 65 game NBA season. I think that's correct. You got all these guys playing long ass playoffs. I mean, remember LeBron 100 games a year?
It's a long season because there's no break. You go straight into summer league play.
Yeah.
Like there's no break for these guys. And everyone would say, well, they're making a shit ton of money. And they are. Contracts have never been higher.
So fucking prorate their contracts.
Yeah.
65 games.
I wonder what the players would say, though. I wonder. I mean, I'm curious if the players said, hey, man, you're going to take, let's say, 10 to 15% reduction in salary, but you're playing 18 less regular season games. Are you doing it?
It's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Like put it up to the players. Hey, would you take less money for less wear and tear on your body? I don't know, but it's, it's obviously.
No kids, like I said before.
Jeez.
Who's that?
My phone going off. Sorry.
Oh, it's a hectic time of the sports year for sure when you have all these things colliding at once. But luckily, we have the perfect beer to coincide with all these, Joe. Our friends at Miller Lite, right?
The beer.
Correct.
When you're on social media and you're like the real this, the whatever. This is the beer. It's the beer. There's only one beer. And then there's variations on that beer. But beer, when you say the word beer, I think about our friends at Miller Lite.
Could not agree more. Was just looking in my fridge, saw some Miller Lights. My brother had left some Miller Lights over at the house. I know that's his go-to beer during Sunday football. That's your go-to beer. It should be every dirtball's go-to beer. Here's the thing about Miller Lite I just want to say, because I think it needs to be reiterated every week. A lot of light beers would cut the most crucial ingredient, which is flavor.
Yeah.
Miller Lite does not do that.
In fact, they do. They
do.
I would argue that they absolutely all. I would argue that is what makes Miller Lite the light beer.
They don't do that.
They don't do that. They had their own formula. They created it. Everybody else is an imposter, watering down their other beer. Miller Lite is its own delicious recipe.
That's
Andy,
right.
we played a practice round of golf before the event on Saturday, and I was driving. I hit a tee shot on a par 5, hit a tee shot, and then as I was about to hit my second shot, I saw something out in the distance. So I hit my second shot, and then I'm driving up the fairway, and right in the middle of the fairway, 30 pack of Miller Lite with ice on it. I was like, "What is this some sort of beer fairy?" I was like, this has to be for me, right? Just as I tee off, there's a 30 pack of Miller Lite sitting in. It was great. It was amazing. Split it up between our coolers, drank Miller Lite the rest of the day playing golf. What's better? Lake Tahoe, sun shining, breeze coming off the lake, and you got a golf cart full of Miller Lights. Oh, glorious.
So this football season, enjoy the sweet taste of victory with Miller Lite, the original light beer. Find it pretty much anywhere beer is sold, or go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports for delivery options near you. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
I'll tell you what I'm very excited about, Andy, because I've seen the signs up when I watch Cowboys games. A lot of Miller Lite signs in the background. You've noticed that too, right?
100%.
Miller Lite, big down there at the Jerry Dome. Can't wait to be there. Thanksgiving Day and Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Tradition, unlike any other. Joe Praino, Thanksgiving Day, Miller Lite, football. Oh, I'm shaking with excitement at the thought of it.
Yeah, man. And that'll be here before you know it.
I know. Meet me in the parking lot with some Miller Lights, guys.
How many shows do you have down there?
Everything's bigger in Texas. We're going to have to get some tall boys. I have 5 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. Why no Thursday shows? Because it's Thanksgiving and I'll be at the football game.
How far is Plano from there?
I don't think it's far. Half hour.
Texas is just so damn big.
Yeah, I don't know how far it is from Arlington, but I believe from like downtown Dallas, I think it's only about a half hour away.
I was thinking of Texas. And I was thinking, because you and I made quite a few trips to Texas throughout our years. I was thinking of that time that I had the Pornhub hat and I threw it out the window of the cab.
Yeah. That was in Austin, right?
Yeah. Was that a cab or was that Uber and Lyft? I think it might have been a legit cab.
Yeah, I think we were in a legit cab that one time.
Like, because Uber and Lyft,
I was just telling the story
ourselves
the other day about somebody slamming those beers in the toilet. Remember that?
Dude.
It's an all-time Texas moment.
I was trying to think about that the other day. I was like, why would I throw out a hat out the window? A perfectly good Pornhub hat.
You were fucked up.
Dude, I can't even imagine going back to those days. After our episode,
Joe, remember that?
Yeah,
I think that video is still out there.
After our episode Monday,
Stop it, Joe. Stop it.
And how hungover you were.
Yeah,
you actually kind of like triggered me thinking about some of my finest moments and where I was and the things I did. And holy dude, we talk about like you said, oh, we were in Texas 8 years ago. Dude, the denting will be 9 years next year.
Wow.
Yeah. I had that brain injury almost.
So we're talking like the Stop It Joe videos. That's like 10 years ago.
Almost. That was like fall 2013.
Wow.
I mean, that was when I was at like my peak Andy Ruther, like this is not going to end well. And it almost did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like that's where like I was to that point. That whole weekend was
so
wild.
That was 9 years ago now. And that'll be 9 years, like come spring, it'll be 9 years from the denting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got to do something for the 10-year anniversary. Maybe I'll finally do an investigation.
Unsolved Mysteries. I watched a couple episodes of Unsolved Mysteries last night.
Like old ones or a reboot?
Reboot. New one. It's a fascinating one on the UFO sightings over Lake Michigan in 1994. I was like, wow, that is interesting.
Like, are these new? I know they came back out. I'll be honest. I watched a couple when it came back out a couple years ago.
Yeah. I don't know if it's new. Maybe it's last year or something like that. Yeah, I thought the UFO one in Michigan was interesting. Like 60 different people called in 911, and then the 911 guy calls the radar service. He's like, hey, man, I just got to check. Like, is there something going on there? Because we're getting a lot of UFO calls. And then the guy who's like working at the National Weather Service is like freaking out because he's like, yeah, looks like UFOs. Like,
I feel like that doesn't get enough attention, the UFO thing.
Well, now, like it was just last year where the FBI and the CIA and whatever started dropping it. It's like, so yeah.
No, they dropped it they dropped it 2020. They dropped that stuff in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah. Wisely. Nobody was talking about it. Like that's when people were in lockdown. They wisely, it's like the NFL, right? They wisely just drop stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see what Jim Irsay said about Dan Snyder?
That he's an alien?
He said that, but we talk about dropping things. So we finally have an owner. He's the first owner.
Jim Irsay, famous drunk driver.
Yeah. And apparently there's more to him than that as well.
Yeah.
Like I was reading some things that, he's like every owner. They have serious dirt. But anyway, he's the first owner to openly talk about like, yeah, dude, there's merit here to because the owners don't normally do this to get rid of him. So the owners had a meeting this week. They didn't get rid of him, which, like I said, I was like, that's never happening. It's not happening anytime soon. Right. But there's the Jim Irsay thing. And then also, according to sources, this is another one I found interesting. Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft had a heated exchange all about Roger Goodell's contract discussion. And apparently the owners voted 31-1 on Tuesday to open negotiations on a new contract for Goodell. Jerry Jones was the only owner who doesn't want it. And according to sources with ESPN, Jerry Jones left the meeting and looked at Kraft and said, "Don't fuck with me."
Wow.
And Kraft replied, "Excuse me." And Jones said, "Don't mess with me." Basically, it was about they have some sort of beef. And he's like, "I'm going to vote against it and be the only one. And I don't care. Don't fuck with me." So I guess Jerry Jones's beef is about money. It always is. Right. And he thinks Goodell, the language is too loose for Goodell to achieve the benchmarks that he's to achieve for his bonuses. And as a quick reminder, Goodell's compensation from 2020 to 2021 was apparently $128 million for those 2 years.
That's insane, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, almost $65 million a year is what he's getting now. But think about it. He's getting that money to handle all the shrapnel, all the heat that the owners get. He's just like, bring it my way. They don't got to deal with it.
And now Tua is coming back. Did you see the Tua interview about him not being able to remember the whole thing and whatever? Like,
no, I didn't see it.
It's just insane that this guy's going to play.
But again, I mean, I'm like, are we surprised?
No, but that's why Roger Goodell gets $128 million. But also, he doesn't really do anything except just take it on the chin. You know, like
Joe, I also, speaking of him, I would also argue that's why a lot of them, I would argue, there's no evidence of this, why they want Snyder to be there. Snyder is now he's the owner everyone goes after.
Right.
So if you're Jerry Jones or you're Robert Kraft and you're getting hand jobs in a shopping mall plaza in Florida of a place that has underage girls, or you're Jerry Jones who has a bastard child you've paid all this money, nobody's talking about that. All everybody's talking about is Dan Snyder. Like, isn't having him around good because he takes all the heat for the owners?
Yeah.
I would argue
unless, of course, he's always sitting on some Pandora's box where he's ready to just fucking throw everybody under the bus.
True. But
keep your enemies close.
Right?
Keep
like,
friends close, keep your enemies closer, you know?
They didn't vote him out.
Right.
Like, they had their chance.
Because he's holding dynamite.
I don't know. It's so, I find it so wildly entertaining. And nobody cares. It's like, you know, it goes back to the thing that nobody cares. And as long as the game's going on. I mean, Tua is playing this week.
Yeah. It's insane. Can we just make the NFL an Omaha Productions? Like, can we just let Eli and Peyton Manning be co-commissioners of the NFL? Wouldn't that solve all our problems? Peyton Manning, commissioner. Eli Manning, vice commissioner. The fun one is the vice commissioner. He's just got wacky shit going on. He's just trolling the commissioner's forehead every day.
I wonder what those two argue about. I wonder when they get in their little brother tiffs, because we all have them.
Yeah.
I wonder like what their tiffs are about.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what annoys Peyton about Eli and vice versa.
Eli having a regular sized forehead, I'm assuming, really gets Peyton. What probably gets Eli is the fact that he's like better looking and more charming, and Peyton Manning gets infinitely more commercials. He's like, what's the guy got to do? I'm a better looking, funnier Peyton Manning.
Okay.
I have the same amount of Super Bowls.
Overrated, underrated, not football. I want to talk personality.
Yeah.
Eli's totally underrated.
Yeah.
even I did not know his charm. I think Eli has great charm until the Manning cast. His charm, and I think Peyton's great too, and I think Peyton's funny. But Eli, like if I had to choose as far as comedy, like my Andy Ruther has to, like I have to choose comedy style. I'm not even gonna hesitate. I'm gonna go Eli.
Yeah.
But Peyton's the one hosting SNL.
Right.
And they're
Eli
great.
hosted SNL too.
Okay, he did. And Peyton was great, but like every time there's that Peyton Manning, that one sketch where he's like throwing the ball at the kids and it's funny. And it's funny, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I think Eli.
There's the Eli Manning emoji sketch. Remember where he's on the stand and he's talking about sending emojis? He's like sending booty call emojis. Oh, you gotta watch it. It's great.
I don't think I've seen it.
He's like, and then you send one, he's like, one eye closed, winking, eye closed, tongue out. He's like,
yeah, no, I'm gonna have to watch it. You want to hop into our picks this week?
Let's do it.
So you knifed that 6-point lead down to 3 last week. So the Dangerwich
great about this week, by the way. I feel great about this week. I like a lot of games this week. Yeah.
Well, as always, our weekly picks are presented by our friends at Prize Picks. Dirt balls. This is what, week 7? This is week 8.
Yes.
Yes, to both. Okay. So we'll just go with week 7. Guys, the same.
Well, it's week 7. Yeah.
The same deal we have exists. So all first-time users that deposit and use promo code DIRTY will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. So if you want to play daily fantasy and you play against just the projections, you're not competing against other people. It's you against the projections. And the best part about Prize Picks, it's not limited to football. We're talking football now, but you can hop on and do Major League Baseball, the NHL, NBA. You can do cross sports, which to me is a lot of fun, right? You can do cross sports.
Yeah, I love it.
So you could do, like, for tonight's game, you could do, let's say Andy Dalton starting. You could do his yards with who's pitching tonight.
That's a great question.
Well, my point is with strikeouts, one of the starting pitchers for the game tonight. So hop on over, download the app. It's a lot of fun. This is one of the more fun apps that we've promoted, and we can't say that enough. So download Prize Picks today and play daily fantasy sports with us. Again, make sure you use promo code DIRTY when you sign up so we get some credit for that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have, well, like tonight, Saints, Cardinals.
Yeah.
Like Andy Dalton did 210.5 passing yards. Kyler Murray's 245.5. Like Kyler Murray, I would say less.
And I'm going to say more for Dalton. Let's go more or less.
Okay.
Combo play. Prize Picks.
Now, this is an interesting game because, like, it's one of those, like, it's not the worst teams, but they're both 2-4.
And it's Thursday night. It's kind of wonky and wild.
Tons of injuries. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
They say it's a game time decision for who's playing quarterback.
For the Saints.
Correct. And they have tons of guys out.
But now it's a game time decision between Jameis and Dalton?
I think maybe.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill, I don't know even where that is at this point. The Cardinals are 2.5-point favorites. Now, our friend Randy Ruther sent us a picture. He is in Arizona. Tickets are very, very cheap for this game. Nobody cares. Nobody cares in Phoenix area.
Yeah. Because the Cardinals are 2-4. And they already kind of don't care down there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
They're all hyped. They're the one place that's stoked basketball season has started.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you want to go first or me?
I'm going to let you go first. I think I need you to go first on this one. I think this will set us up nicely.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I don't know who to pick. I'm just going to talk through it right now.
Okay, great.
I'm more willing to pick the Cardinals if Jameis Winston is a quarterback because I think he's good to give up points.
It's a great call.
Right? Like, even if he doesn't give up pick 6, he gives easy points on field position with a turnover. The Saints are really hurting. The Cardinals signed, which is crazy, or they traded for Robbie Anderson. I just think, you're just fishing right now. You're lost. Cliff Kingsbury, it's not working out. It's just not. I was like, oh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe they should have, when they were looking all right. Hey, he's turned it around. No. It's not working. 2.5's a small spread, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I don't like it. In fact, I hate it. I hate this pick.
I love it because I'm Joey No Chill, first of the weekend money line. Pick a lick. I think the Saints win this game in Arizona.
Okay, see, and that's exactly why I hate this pick. I have no
Let's
faith in
go.
this.
Let's go. Who dat? Yeah, who day is your Bengals?
Yeah.
Who dat? We're going Andy Dalton in Arizona. It's hot. He looks like Heat Miser. We're going Andy Dalton, FTW, for the win.
Okay.
And I think the fact that it's a game time decision basically tells us it's Andy Dalton.
I agree.
I also think it's going to be a game time decision. A lot of games the rest of the year. And it's Andy Dalton. And it should be. Andy Dalton should be that quarterback.
But hey, Jameis Winston has the best EPA/QBR of quarterbacks under 30 who have their name start with a J, who also played baseball in college, and who also have a last name starting with a W. He's ranked number 3 in that category.
Randy Ruther sent us that, which is very important. I don't know if you know this, but Jameis Winston all time has the number 3 QB rating on Thursday night in games where tickets on average are less than $50.
That's a great stat right there.
And honestly, when you're giving out gold jackets, that's one of the very first things that you look at.
Yeah, I agree.
Thursday night primetime performances when no one gives a shit about the game.
Yes.
$50 or under tickets, Thursday primetime games in states that do not believe in what was the time zone thing. They don't change time zones.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's in states that do not change time zones, undefeated.
Stellar record. Yeah. That's a
do not believe in daylight savings time. Jameis Winston in states that do not believe in daylight savings time.
They have next gen stats.
Number 4 quarterback all time.
They have next gen stats.
Yeah.
This is the best way to think about that book. He wrote a 400-page book of his own next gen stats just on Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Talk about cuckoo. Okay, moving on. The Bengals. This is a big spread, which again, I do not understand, Joe. They are 6.5-point favorites at home against the Falcons, who, as a little teaser for everybody, as a little nug of advice, the Falcons have covered. The Falcons are 6-0 against the spread this year, people. 6-0. This spread opened at 6. It's moved to 6.5. I don't know if everyone's you're first, but I'm obviously tipping my hand. I don't know if everyone's because the Bengals won.
I'm taking the Falcons, man.
Me too.
6-0 against the spread. 6.5 seems crazy. It seems like it should be 4.5. Seems like it should be 5.5. It doesn't seem like it should be 6.
The Bengals' biggest problem on defense is stopping the run. The Falcons run the ball well. This is a game I could see the Bengals actually losing. I don't think they will. I think they win. I just think 6.
They better not.
Do you have them in Survivor?
No. Dude, I lost my Survivor. I was out 3 weeks in. I lost on the fucking, I forget who I lost on. I think it was.
But like you wouldn't be shocked if they lost, would you?
No. Of course not.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying Cincinnati right now is tied with Baltimore at 3-3. I mean, I know no one's running away with that division, but you lose to Atlanta.
I agree.
Who's also 3-3. You know,
Is Atlanta tied with Tampa Bay for the lead of that division?
correct.
Yeah, I think it'll be a
Correct,
good
sir.
game. I think it'll be a good game.
I mean,
All right.
the amount of 3-3 teams.
Yeah, there's a
By the way,
lot.
the NFC West is 3-3, 3-3, 3-3. San Francisco, Rams, Seattle. 3-3 lead the NFC South, Tampa Bay and Atlanta.
That's nuts.
AFC North 3-3, Baltimore and Cincinnati. Miami and New England, the bottom two teams in the AFC East, 3-3.
Interesting. All right. Next up, we have the Lions, our favorite team to rip on, against the Cowboys.
By the way, Randy Ruther just came in with Bengals by 1 million. I've never felt more confident in the Falcons.
You've never felt more confident.
Yeah. Now that Randy Ruther says Bengals by 1 million.
I mean, what is he? Is he your nephew Deuce? So what grown ass man says their own team by 1 million? What are you, a 10-year-old? Bengals by 1 million.
Damn, the Randy shots. Andy, Randy, shots fired.
No, nothing but love, but seriously, grow up.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. I love me some Randy Ruther. Okay. Moving right along.
I see a Andy Ruther Hezbollah attack meme coming. Andy Ruther, you are banned from the Topgolf in Arizona.
Oh no, that would suck. Actually,
I can't wait to go see visit Randy there.
Oh, that'll be a real fun time. Okay, Lions at Cowboys. Is Dak Prescott starting?
He is, I believe.
Okay, the Cowboys are 7-point favorites. The Lions had a bye week. Now the Lions are, they're 3-2 against the spread, so like they're keeping a lot of games close. Who's up first? Me?
Yeah.
I mean, what did the Lions figure out in the off week? Let's just be honest.
Nothing.
7 is still a lot, though.
Where's the game?
It's in Dallas.
Ooh.
I can see this game being like a push. It's in Dallas, which scares me. I'm going to do it, though. Fuck it. I'll take the Lions.
I'm going to take the Lions as well. 7 points. Dak Prescott. I mean, we have a quarterback on. The only game the Cowboys haven't looked fucking good in is the Dak Prescott game. Coming back, we're going to have fucking Rusty. We're going to have how does he feel? We're going to have quarterback controversy if he doesn't play well. We're going to have pressure. I'm taking the Lions.
Wow.
I'm taking the Lions to lose the game. Also.
So we're both going to take the Lions
to lose and cover. Correct?
Yeah. 100%. Okay.
Also, by the way, go fucking Lions. I hope you find your grit this week. Beat them boys.
I mean, Joe, if they lose, they're 1-5. Like, I mean, it's like even I did not expect that. Like if they lose,
hi, I'm Joe Praino, and I expected that.
You expect them to start 1-5?
Oh, dude, was anybody more like, what are we talking about? This is the fucking Lions and me.
No,
the whole time?
I was too, but like I didn't expect 1-5.
Why not? They won 3 games last year. They won 2 games last year, 3 games last year.
3 games. They tied 1.
Yeah, they tied 1.
That's like a consolation prize. Okay, Colts Titans. This should be a good AFC South battle. Colts Titans. It's only 2.5 spread. It's in Tennessee. Who, by the way, announced they're getting a dome.
Really?
They're going to get a new stadium. So they basically did the math, and I've kind of
is that one less grass team we're going to have, Andy?
It is. So I've kind of been following this because it's kind of similar to what's going on here in Cincinnati, because basically the stadium is 24 years old and they did the math, and supposedly the upgrades even at just 24 years old. Well, I guess, quarter of a century would have been like $800 million. In the mindset is like, well, then let's just build a dome because then we can host.
I don't know anything. I've spent very, 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 very little time in Tennessee. I've been to Tennessee numerous times, but I've spent very little time there, especially in terms of like hanging out. I've driven through a lot. Is the weather there require a dome?
I would argue no, but they're thinking other things, right?
They're thinking we'll get to have the Final Four and we'll get to have
a Super Bowl. And,
yeah.
Everyone's big. I don't know if you know, like everyone's big on Nashville now.
Right.
Call it Nash Vegas. Everybody goes there. The population is booming. Like they just hosted a draft. They'll for sure get a Super Bowl because it's, obviously we all know with country music scene, like it's, how about that Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Who do you have? Carrie Underwood? Give me, you have like give me
a Luke Combs.
Darius Rucker. They need some diversity.
Yeah. Darius Rucker for
dude,
sure.
At what point did he just become the black dude in country music? Have you noticed? Like good for him.
Like 10 years ago now.
He's just riding that.
Yeah.
Like he's the black dude.
He also rode Kate Quigley almost into an early grave. Shots fired.
You did a quick shots fired on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've had some shots fired at me from the other side of that aisle. So I'm actually just returning fire.
All right, don't get me started. So Colts, Titans. Titans are 2.5. You're up first. I already know who I'm going to pick.
I'm still like, I mean, not that I was ever on the Colts team, but I was a little bit on them. Like, I just thought this was the best like old quarterback retread they've tried in the last 4 years. But I just think the Titans at home, I don't think this is I feel like this is a push game if it's in Indianapolis. Like, I don't see Indy being a favorite against the Titans kind of anywhere this game is played. So 2.5 doesn't seem enough for me. I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree.
But also I wouldn't be surprised at anybody winning this game.
Yeah, I agree. I am I'm big on the Tennessee win. I just think Tennessee's going to win. Like, I don't know. I just think Matt Ryan's going to shit the bed on the road.
I mean, I don't think so. I think this will be a good game. I think it could go either way. But if it was 3, and if it was 3.5, I'd be like, I don't know. It was 4.5, but it's 2.5. So I'm going Tennessee.
Okay. Packers at the Commanders. Carson Wentz out. Taylor Heineke back in. Wow. Does this do anything for their offense? The Packers are 4.5-point favorites. Really struggling.
Really struggling.
Do they right that ship?
I think that they do. I actually like Heineke.
Yeah. Wow.
I like Heineke better than Wentz. The question for me here, I think the Packers right the ship and win this game. Question is, how close is it? I'm going to take the Packers to cover.
I was going to say, I'm taking the Packers. I think they show up this week. They handle business. All right, Tampa at Carolina. I'm up. Spread is now 11 points. I don't know who's starting for Carolina. I don't know if it matters. 11, same thing. It just seems so big. I don't know what's going on.
Very big.
I don't know what's going on in Tampa. I don't think they're there yet. But Carolina just keeps burning me. I just keep taking them. They just keep not covering. And you think they're going to cover. 11's a lot.
Yeah.
It's at home. I'm gonna go Carolina again. I'm gonna hate this.
Let's go. I talked you into that one. I'm going the Bucks, baby.
Fuck you.
Let's go.
You know what? Fuck you on that. You totally did. You totally did. You kept saying 11. You kept saying 11. And I was like, you know what? Because when I first started discussing this, I'm thinking, dude, Brady's going to show up and just like, this is what he does. He had a bad game. He's had a bad few. Had a bad year.
I think this game could go either way. Like the Bucks don't look great, man. The Bucks, it's like at what point, but like, I'm not going to, when you go Carolina, I'm not going down. I'm not losing a point here or losing an opportunity to gain a point here and not having to eat the Dangerwich for a week because I'm betting on fucking Carolina. You're like, I'm on Carolina. They keep burning me. I'm like, fuck it. Opportunity. Let's ride this. Let's let Andy ride this Carolina train into the ground. Matt Rule's emailing him. Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold are starting. Tom Brady bound to have a fucking game where he gets right at some point and pulls us all back into believing. I think he's probably done, but this is the game where he pulls you back in with like a 30-point performance, right? Yeah. Let's go.
I don't, dude, this is bullshit, but I'll keep it.
It was bullshit that you made the pick?
Yeah. You conned me. You tricked me.
Well, I got to go first next time. That's why we swap off, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next time is your boys. You're in Jacksonville. The Jags are 3-point favorites.
I mean, listen, I'm glad I get to go first on this one. I mean, I'd love you to have a conversation with me after I explain, but like, how? I get it. It's in Jacksonville. How are they 3-point favorites?
I was shocked.
Talk to me.
Now, if this was
tell me as a Giants fan, I'm biased, but I feel like of all my teams, I'm very realistic about the Giants. Like, how? Look at the teams we're beating.
So if this was reversed, the Giants are 3-point favorites on the road, I would have taken Jacksonville, but they're not. Sounds like we're both going to take the Giants.
I mean, it seems Vegas, explain to me how, or is it just like, let's talk this out. Is it just that they feel like the Giants are playing above their heads? Is it a letdown game? Is anything about Dable say we let down games to shitty teams? He almost feels like the anti-Giants coach. This has Giants letdown game historically written all over it. We beat Tennessee to open the year. We beat the fucking Packers and Ravens back to back. We went to London.
Yeah.
With the way their defense, I mean, you're fucking up Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson with your defense, getting them off their spots in the second half, and suddenly Trevor Lawrence is going to be your undoing. I say no fucking way.
Well,
Joey No Chill, second money line pick of the week. I go with the win, guys. This isn't me being biased.
Well, early on, me looking at this game, I thought this is everything of the Giants' loss, just because they're going to be favorites, all that, and then again, they're not favorites. So I'm like, I'm confused on that, and I'm just going to have to go with the Giants now. Again, if this was reversed, I'd go with the Jags, but it's not. So we're both on the Giants. All right, AFC North battle: Browns at Ravens. Ravens are 6.5-point favorites. Both these teams need this. I'd say the Browns' season is already on the brink.
I agree.
6.5 is a lot, though.
6.5 is a lot.
So I didn't technically go first last time. I'll go first this time. I'm going to go with the Browns just because the way these teams run the ball and the clock and like.
I agree. I just think AFC North 6.5. Yeah, listen, Lamar Jackson with the game he had last week, does he come back this week and have a big game? Yeah, but I'm just not betting on like NFC North, some team blowing out another team. The way they run the ball, the way they'll play defense. 6.5 seems crazy to me. I'm with you on the Browns.
All right, Jets at Broncos. Mr. Unlimited, who's been the most limited quarterback in the NFL, is somehow a 1-point favorite. Again, I think I know where both of us are going in this game.
I'm going first. I'm going against what I think you think I'm going to say. I'm going with the unlimited. I think the Broncos win this game.
You do.
I think, and Jets fans are going to hate to hear me say this, but this to me,
I think you're right though,
is what this Jets game screams to me. What the fucking what people think the Jags game screams for the Giants. Like it screams letdown game to me. It screams game Russ gets fucking some shit together. I actually listen. I'm straight up not hating on the Jets here. I actually have been very impressed with the Jets. I think that a Jets money line play here, if you're like, I don't know what the sports books are doing as compared to ESPN. I think if you're a Jets money line player here because they're dogs, I do not hate it. I think Broncos home with a potential Jets pitfall game. It's just 1 point. It's just basically that the Broncos win the game. I think it's going to be really close, and I think it's going to be a good game. I think it'll probably be low scoring. If the Jets blew them out, I would not be shocked. I think the Jets are playing good football. I think the Jets might be a good football team-ish. And the Broncos, I disagree, but also I feel like this Broncos team's going to hang around. And I feel like the Jets are going to be in the hang around with the Miami Patriots. A couple teams are going to be 4-3 after this weekend mix. I'm going with the Broncos.
I'm going with the Broncos because of their defense. It has nothing to do with Russell Wilson. I think this is a game
where
the
God knows that. That's for
I
sure.
think this is a game where the Broncos defense scores a touchdown. I'm just going to say it right now. The Broncos defense gets a touchdown in this game. Zach Wilson has done nothing the last 2 games they've won. Nothing. All right, we're both going with Mr. Unlimited. Texans at Raiders. 7-point Raiders favorites. Wow.
Raiders are 1-4. The Texans are 1-3-1. The fact that the Raiders are 7-point favorites over anybody makes 0% sense to me, which is why I'm taking them to cover.
I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah.
Davis Mills, he keeps them in games, man.
I agree. I don't hate it, man. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand how this isn't a 3.5-point Raiders spread or a 4-point Raiders spread. I don't understand it.
Yeah, there might be something I don't know.
The fact that this team is Vegas, it's the Vegas team and these Vegas fucking sport, like they know some. They're a lot closer to this than I am. I mean, 7. They obviously have the number at 7. It'll be close. It's going to be close. But I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Well, the next spread, I feel the same way. Seahawks at Chargers. Chargers are 5.5-point favorites. I'm up first. Nothing about what the Chargers are doing says to me you're 5.5-point favorites. Justin Herbert threw the ball 57 times or some shit the other day. And he threw a touchdown pass. And by the way, I'm not putting anything on him. I'm just saying, like, that's the state of their team. You have a total clown of a coach. He's a clown. He really is. He's an idiot. I was like, let's see this play out. To me, it's not playing out well. There's no way I'm taking the Chargers in this.
I'm with you. I think this is a coach. I'm taking this coaching alone. I'm taking Pete Carroll over Brandon Staley.
100%. I like it. Is that his new name?
Maybe Brandon Staleyist.
It's like, what are you doing, man? Just fucking stop going. Take the points. Take the points, coaches.
Take the points. Do you remember Searching for Bobby Fischer? Take the draw. You remember that movie?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Cable rerun classic with Joe Mantegna. Take the draw. Take the points. Somebody make a Searching for Bobby Fischer gif where he's sitting across the fucking chessboard from Brandon Staley. Take the points.
Dude, seriously though, all these guys.
By the way, if you guys love, if you're a dirtball who's younger than us, which is all of them, and you want to see a good children's chess drama.
I don't know what I dislike more. I don't know what I dislike more. These coaches who just don't take the points, or the dorks on Twitter when I make a joke about it. Yeah, dude, cool. You're another faceless troll. Get the fuck out of my mentions. Well, actually, I don't care. You've never played a sport. Momentum is real. And that includes you, Tuck Coger. I'm throwing you under the bus.
Shit. Shiggity shots fired. How's that fucking? You basically just threw him in a pile of faceless troll morons. You're like, faceless troll morons, captain of the team, Tug Coker.
Tug was arguing momentum with me and you last year on text.
Yeah, no, I know. I think that's ludicrous.
It's ludicrous.
It's ludicrous not to believe in momentum.
Come on, Tug. And Tug, you played Division I sports in college, man. You know better than this. Momentum is real.
I understand if you don't want to factor momentum into your analytics, but I also just think that to me, the analytics thing is to me, if you're talking about this gives you if you go the full analytics route, right? And they call down, they're like, coach, this gives you a 51% chance to win the game if you go for it here. And it gives you a 49.6% chance to win the game if you don't go for it. I just go, why the fuck are you calling me? Then let me then let me coach the game. Now, if I get a call that you're 71% more likely to win this game if you fucking go for it. Okay, now we're talking about something. But in those things where it's like a coin flip, I don't even want to hear about my 2% greater chance of winning, because I think momentum is real, and not getting it affects your defense more than the thing that it's factoring in.
Sure. I agree. All right. We're both going to take the Seahawks to cover.
Yes, sir.
Next game is a good one. We got Chiefs at Niners. The Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites. I mean, this is an interesting game because you look at it, flip either side. The Niners lose at home. They're 3-4. The Chiefs lose on the road. They're 4-3.
Yeah.
Like, the season can really get away from you quickly.
Well,
I know who I'm going to pick, though.
Okay. Is it you first?
I don't remember.
I think it's me first.
Yeah, it is you.
You picked the Seahawks first. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too. I think Chiefs win and cover.
I just don't think the Chiefs lose 2 games in a row. That's my deciding factor.
Yeah. Well, 2 is back next game. Pittsburgh at Miami. Miami's 7-point favorites. Pittsburgh, I don't even know who's playing quarterback. Then again, Tua is not going to know that he is playing quarterback. So this is kind of a tough spread.
Yeah.
I mean, what do they do in his return? I hate to do, I don't know how Pittsburgh can't score. Like, they won that game last week. What was it? Like 1918, 1916? Like, what was it? It was like, the thing is, Miami could put up points.
Miami can.
Just such a big spread, though. I hate that I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the fucking Steelers.
I mean, I was going to take the Steelers too. I was gonna.
But now that I took.
What's the spread? 7?
7. You want to gain that point on me?
I want to. But
do you want to lose a point because of 2
No, I don't. I've been rocking and rolling with the Steelers. Maybe it's don't fall in love with the girl when that girl is Mitchell Trubisky possibly playing. I'm going with the Dolphins. Give me the point.
Okay.
Oh, this is a reckless decision. Terrible reckless decision. I think Tua might die.
Yeah, they still might cover even if he dies.
If
If
he
Tua died in the
dies, he
field, would
dies.
they? I don't think the NFL would stop the game. They'd be like,
No.
okay,
No.
we got to finish this.
And they probably just put the blue like tarp over him and shoot him like he was a horse that broke his leg at Santa Anita.
And then they're like, oh, you didn't see that. No, we
Yeah.
saw it. Just like his
We
head
we
injury.
heard the gunshot. No, that was a car backfiring. Why would a car be backfiring in the middle of the field?
And they'd be like, release the John Gruden emails instantly. We got more.
Yeah.
Release the John Gruden emails instantly.
John Gruden said the N-word. Why? What does that have to do with anything?
We're good.
What do they
We're
see
good.
here? John Gruden said the N-word. You're standing in front of a dead body that you just shot with a fucking shotgun.
We're good. We're good.
Jerry Jones has other children that you don't know about. Nothing to see here.
All right, you're riding with Tua. This will make that game fun, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find myself rooting for fucking Trubisky.
And that's a Sunday night game.
Yeah. The Monday night one's not much better. Bears at Patriots. Patriots are 7.5-point favorites. Mac Jones says he's healthy. Who knows who's going to start? Is Bailey Zabazabadoo going to start?
Zabba Zabba, you're my only friend. Am I going first?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
up. 7.5.
7.5. So big. You're playing anybody but the Bears, who couldn't score 7.5 points if they had 3 weeks to do it. I'm going with the Patriots.
The Bears burned me last week.
You picked
And I'm
them.
not going to let them burn me again. I'm just not. I just can't do it. Like, you guys just can't score. Your offense is atrocious to watch.
Patriots have scored 7 points in game 1 and 17 in game 2. After that, it's 26, 24, 29, 38. They can score points. The Bears cannot. They can
All right.
score some points.
We're
Some
both
points.
We're both going to take the
Bears,
Patriots then.
7, 22, 12, 23, 10, 19. Patriots. Give me Abba Zabba. You're my only friend.
All right. We're both on Patriots. Week 7 picks. Give us a ring. We're not going to do calls today because the show went a little longer. 310-359-8365. We'll get to some calls on Monday, I promise, while we recap the games.
Yeah, we didn't get a ton of calls this week. My apologies again for my hungover performance on Monday. I'm back.
All right.
I'm
It's all right,
healthy.
Joe.
I'm
It
like
happens.
Tua. I'm like Tua. I didn't come back. I didn't come back. Can you imagine if I'd come hungover to this episode? You'd have been like, okay, this is a problem. The NFL would be like, he's fine. Monday turns out wasn't even a hangover. It was a back injury.
Yeah,
That's why you had to
100%.
vomit in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Guys, follow me on all social media. I'm going to make some big announcements right now. Okay. First of all, I need you guys to follow me on all social media, specifically Instagram at Joe Praino, TikTok at Joe Praino. I'm going out to the comedy clubs tonight to try to get a very specific bit on tape. And then our boy, Utah Jazz employee Nick D'Alessandro, will be waiting up to the wee hours of the morning in hopes of putting out a stand-up clip that I'm hoping to capture on video tomorrow, to coincide with the release of an album from an artist I hate. We won't give away too much, but an artist I hate is dropping an album, and I'm doing a diss track at the comedy clubs tonight. I'm trying to start some beef, trying to go battle of the bastards.
Good luck dealing with that artist fans.
Yeah, trying to go battle of the bastards against a famous artist's famously bitchy fans. So please follow me at Joe Praino on Instagram, at Joe Praino on TikTok. And hopefully, if we can capture this bit, it'll be out tonight/tomorrow morning. You can also follow me on all other social media at Joe Praino. You can follow me on Twitter at Fix Your Life. You can follow me around the country. If you go to joepraino.com/shows, I got shows coming up in Southern California. I'll be in Ventura, California tomorrow, doing a show at Satakoy Golf Club. I've got shows coming up, of course, Plano, Texas, Thanksgiving weekend. If you're down there in the Dallas area and you want to go drink some Miller Lite and watch some football, and then more and more shows to come in Southern California, Vegas, Dallas, all kinds of places. North Carolina coming soon. San Francisco. Go to my page. Click a couple months over. And thank you for all your support. Drink Miller Lite and tell me about it.
I have a new feed I want to push as well. It's at Roscoe 1 of 1. I detail why he is the best dog who's a multi-poo, 11 years old, who goes on walks between 20 to 22 minutes daily. He's number one in that
and
age
has
group.
been maced by a postman.
Yes, and has been maced by a postman. Also, who had decided to have sex with his bed in front of the electrician today, which was fun. So these are all just things that contribute to him.
The highest shit per walk ratio for an 11-year-old multi-poo has been maced by a postman and fucked his bed in front of an electrician. I mean, if he doesn't have a gold jacket with 4 legs, 4 armholes in it, like, what are we even doing?
Not the image I'm getting of him with the gold jacket. It's so funny. So so follow that account. And drink Miller Lite. Tweet at us about it. Tweet at Joe about it. Let us know. Sharing all the fun that you guys do with our fun sponsors. All right, that's our show. Thanks for sticking around with us, guys. Bless you. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. And as always, stay dirty.